Hello student, I am Alka Sharma from NCMS Chapua. Today I am taking the class of 10 SST Geography chapter 1 Resource and Development. I already explained the types of resource. Now today I am taking the land resources. As you know, the land is very important resource. It supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life and human activities. All the economic activities are on the land. So we have to, but land is limited, so we have to use it very systematically and carefully. Now you know the India's geographical area. So you see 43% are of plain, 43% plain area. These we are used for our agriculture activities and industrial setups. Next 27%, these are the 27% plateau. These are the source of minerals, fossil fuels and some forests are covered in this area. And the next 30% are the mountain which provide river water, sites for tourism and some ecological. So in this way our Indian geographical area are distributed. Land use patterns in India. See, when use land in India, it is determined by the two factors, physical factors and human factor. Physical factors like climate, soil type, topography, etc. And human factor, population density, cultural activities, tradition, technology. All these comes under factors. These two factors are very important for the land use. Now land utilization means how the lands we are using. We are using the land for the following purpose, like some of the part of the land are covered with forest, land which is not available for cultivation. So which type of land which is not available for cultivation? That barren and wasteland, it is useless. Land put to non-agriculture uses, like we had constructed road, buildings, railway tracks. So that is not used for it. And third part, that is other uncultivated land. Some of the lands are uncultivated. Why? Because these lands are for permanent pasture and grazing lands. That is why we are not using. And other lands, here we are growing different type of tree crops and roofs. That is why it is not used. Cultivable wasteland means these lands are cultivable, but nobody is doing cultivation. It is left near about for 5 years without cultivation. So the next, fallow lands. Fallow lands means land which is left uncultivated for one or more season in the region of fertility. That comes, it is divided into current fallow land, other than current fallow. Current fallow means some lands which is left less than 1 year for cultivation. Second one, other than current fallow. Between these land is left uncultivated for near about 1 to 5 years. And the next sown area means area sown then once in more than once, like a farmer is growing more and more crop in 1 year. After growing one crop, then they are growing the next crop like this. So in this way they are using. Total geographical area of India is near about 3.28%. So it is necessary to maintenance of our economy, our ecological balance as per National Forest Policy of 1952. The land use reporting of northeastern state said except Assam and some part of Jammu and Kashmir had not been surveyed properly. Now, in 1960 and 61 and 2008 and 2009, some major changes take place in land pattern in India. See, the area which is under forest is far less than 33%, which is necessary for the maintenance of ecological balance. Next, The land under permanent pasture is very low, still decreasing. Most of the other current fallow land are of poor quality, and we want to grow and do the cultivation, it needs too much cost. It is very high. That is why these lands are cultivated once or twice in about 2 to 3 years. If we include these fallow land to the net sown area, so our total NSA, net sown area, will become 54%. Now the net sown area in different states, how it will be in our whole part of India. Yes, see, the pattern of net sown areas are differ. It is widely differ in different states. See, the 80% land are in the Punjab and Haryana. There are good intensive agriculture activities going on because there are good facilities of irrigation, and they are using lots of amount of good technology of agriculture, chemical fertilizers and manures. And it is less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Mizoram and Andaman and Nicobar Island. Land degradation and conservation. Human have degraded the land. They also increase and damage of the land caused by, and some natural causes are also which degraded the land. Do you know, India is about 130 million hectares of the wasteland. See, it comprises, when we see 28% forest degraded area, 56% water eroded area, 10% wind eroded area, and 6% is affected by saline and alkaline deposit. So in this way, see how the quality of land is degraded. Now, some other factors are also like deforestation, overgrazing, mining activities, they had also contributed land degradation. See, mineral processes also do the land degraded, like grinding of limestone for cement industries and calcite and soapstone for ceramic industries. They generate large amount of dust. When this dust will be settled down on the soil, so it causes infiltration of the soil. Water will be not insert inside the soil. So these, and with this, some industrial effluents, some waste products of the industries, they also cause land and water pollution both. What type of method we will take to solve this problem? First, afforestation, again we replant, control on overgrazing, proper management of grazing land. Second, planting shelter belts of the tree in arid area, because it will be the sand particles and soils are moving very fast from this area. Control on mining activities, managing wasteland, stabilizing sand dunes by growing thorny bushes, so sand will be not flow, it will remain in one place. Now the next, I am taking soil as resource. Soil is an important natural resource. It is a renewable natural resource. Do you know it takes millions of years to the soil up to few centimeters in that. There are relief, parent rock, bedrock, climate, vegetations and other forms of life, and tide are important factors help in the formation of soil. And various forces, some natural forces like change in temperature, action of running water, wind, glaciers, activities of decomposers, they also help in the contribution of soil formation, and it consists of both organic and inorganic materials. Now, how the soils are distributed or classified in the India? See, the soils are classified following on the basis of some chemical and physical factors like color, thickness, texture, age, etc. Alluvial soil. It is found in large amount in India. Do you know this is the most widespread soil found in India, which has deposited by are important Himalayan, three important Himalayan rivers, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, the Indus. It covers near about 45.6% of area. Due to high fertility area of the soil, these are intensively cultivated and densely populated area. So this area is densely populated because good quality of alluvial soil are available. These soils are mostly found in river valleys of northern plains, Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra, strips in Gujarat and Rajasthan, in eastern coastal plains and the delta of peninsular river Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri. It is made up of silt, sand and clay, and it is rich in nutrients like potash, phosphoric acid and lime. That is why it is used for any type of crops we can grow easily. Crops like which type of crops we can grow? We can grow paddy, wheat, sugarcane and other cereals and pulses crops. Do you know, on the basis of age, these alluvial soil are divided into two parts. The old alluvial soil we call it Bangar and the new alluvial soil we call Khada. But in the drier areas, this soil is more alkaline, and if we want to do agriculture activities, we have to need too much fertilizers and good irrigation facilities. Next, the black soil. It is also called black cotton soil or Vigar soil. Do you know it covers near about 16% to Indian geographical area. It is found in Deccan Plateau regions, and it is, do you know how it is made? It is made from lava flows. From this soil is formed. It covers the plateaus, the area of Saurashtra, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and also the valleys of Godavari and Krishna river. It is rich in nutrients like calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, potash and lime, but it is poor in phosphoric contents. It develops, do you know, it develops deep crack in the summer season. So there was a big crack. It helps in the aeration of the soil, but it becomes sticky when it will be moist, and during rainy season it will become wet, so it was difficult for the farmer to tilt it because lumps of the soil will be formed. Red and yellow soil. Red soil developed on crystalline igneous rock, the area of the low rainfall in the eastern and southern part of Deccan Plateau. Features. It is red in color, it covers 10.6% of India, total geographical area. The red color, white is red color. The red color of this type of soil is to diffusion of iron particles into crystalline and metamorphic rocks of low rainfall area of Deccan Plateau, mostly in the eastern and southern parts. It turns yellow when it is hydrated. When it is mixed with the water, its color becomes yellow. It is found in Tamil Nadu, Odisha, MP, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Chota Nagpur Plateau of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Laterite soil. The word laterite has derived from the Latin words means brick. It covers about 7.2% of total geographical area. This develop in high temperature and heavy rainfall area. Here these laterite soils are found. Features. This soil has very low humus content, that is why microorganisms are not survive. Second, it can be used cultivable form. How? When we supply good amount of manures and chemical fertilizers, then it is used for agriculture purpose. It is useful for growing coffee, tea, cashew nut, tapioca and cinchona. These can be grown very well. Where these soils we can found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, MP, Andhra Pradesh and some hilly areas of Odisha and Assam. Desert or arid soil. Do you know this soil is covered near about 4% Indian total geographical area. In some area, common salt is also found. How? By the evaporation of water. It is sandy in texture, red to brown in color and saline in nature. It lacks humus and moisture. Why? due to dry climate, high temperature and faster rate of evaporation. It can be usable for cultivation if we can supply good amount of irrigation facility, and it is used for growing. Which type of crops we can grow? We can grow barley, wheat, cotton, maize, millets and some pulses. It is found in western part of Rajasthan, northern Gujarat, southern part of Haryana. In the lower horizon of this soil, so conker are found. How this will be found? Because increasing of calcium contents downward, and which restricts infiltration of water. Forest and mountain soil. It covers 8% total area. It is differ in texture from loamy and silty in the valley sides and to coarse grains in upper slopes. Big size of rocks. Due to lack of forest cover, it is covered with the snow area of Himalaya, so soils are acidic with low humus content. This soil is useful for cultivation of some spices, tea and some tea, coffee and some tropical fruits we can grow here. It is found in lower part of valley on the river of Taras and hilly regions of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Now you can see the alluvial soil in this area north and this near Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh. Desert area, Rajasthan, this black soil, these are found in this area, black soil are found. Mixed red and black soil, these are the areas where mixed and red soils are found. Next, red soil, this covers this area 50 to 100%. Red soil is of 25 and grey and brown soil is of 25%. Laterite are the 25% and mountains area. These are covered in this northern area. Now, soil is an important renewable resource. It is very important because we can grow trees and plants here and our life will be survived. That is why soil conservation is very important. But what is called soil erosion? When the top layer of the soil is washed away by the water, running water or by the wind. So it reduces the fertility of the soil because all the nutrient elements are present on the upper layer of the soil. Then it will be washed away. So we can't grow anything properly on this, any crops on this. So the soil erosion is the removal of soil covers, it washing down the soil. The process of soil formation and erosions are simultaneously, generally they will balance it. But we, human beings and some natural causes had destroyed this. Now, what are the some natural causes by which soil erosion will be occur? Soil erosion will be occur by wind, by the glacier or by water. Wind erosion. It is common, wind erosion. See, when the top layer of the soil is washed by the wind, then it is called wind erosion. Do you know it is common in which places? It is common in arid and semi-arid area because these lands are used for grazing purpose. So these, and it is one of the process which lead to desertification. Next, to solve this problem of wind erosion, what we can do? We can adopt the two methods, that is strip cropping and shelter belt. Strip cropping means if there was a large agriculture fields or any field, we can divide into strips, and in these strips of grass are left and we grow the grass. So what happens? We can grow the grass between the crops, so this breaks the force of wind. So in this way soil will be safe. Second, shelter belt. What we do? We can plant rows of trees on the edge of the field. So this helps in the reducing the speed of it. So in this way, by the strip cropping and shelter belt, we can prevent the soil by wind erosion. Water erosion. When the top layer of the soil is washed with the running water, that is called water erosion. Now, there are two types causes of water erosion, sheet erosion and gully erosion. When the water flowing down over large area, so what happens, the topsoil will be washed with the water, that is called sheet erosion. Gully erosion, when the water will be flowing down, when it will be flowing down through the valley, it called deep channels, and then in this way the soil will be flow down. This is called gully erosion. Bad land, some of the land which is not unfit for cultivation and they will remain as it is, so it will be washed, this is called bad land. Human cause, humans are also responsible, not only these natural causes. Human beings are also responsible for this because they are doing deforestation, overgrazings, faulty methods of agriculture activities by human beings, which are the natural factors causing soil erosion. So question comes, how we can save this soil? What are the soil conservation methods? First one is counter plugging and terrace farming. These are done in the hilly areas. The western of central Himalaya has well developed terrace farming. So in this way they can prevent this soil. Next one is strip cropping. The large fields, as we already studied, the large fields first we divide into strips, and the strips of grasses are left to grow in between the crops. So this breaks the force of wind, and this method is called strip cropping. Shelter bed, planting the lines or rows of the trees to create shelter, work in similar way. So rows of such trees are called shelter beds, and these can be contributed stabilization of sand dunes in desert area. Now, other method, what we adopt, we do afforestation, restriction of animal grazings, construction of suitable dams to control water. So in this way we can prevent, and there are some other methods which we can see some peoples and community had adopted, like planting trees. So community participation that happen in Panchkula districts of Haryana. In this way they save this. Second one, integrated wetland development through participatory planning will be done in Jhabua district to solve this soil erosion and maintain ecological balance. So in this way we can say this. My dear student, this is a time of rainy season. What you do? You will also become a part of, to save this ecological balance. What you do? You collect some neem seeds, tamarind seeds, some mango seeds, and take with you, and wherever you can see some open space, some wasteland, throw these seeds there. This is a rainy season, so when rain drops will be fall there, maybe these trees will be grow. So in this way we will become a part to maintain this ecological balance. So today I had finished the geography chapter 1. Thank you.